Hello guys. Sorry if that was rustly. My hair was over the mic. I'm kind of annoyed. I love this hoodie, and when I was painting my bathroom, because I decided to change it from pink to white, I got white on my hoodie. Never mind. I'll fix it at some point. So yeah, I am looking slouchy because I just wanted like a chill video, really, just a chill one. I did say last time that I would do another Never Have I Ever, but like a different version of it. So that's what I'm doing today. I got like the adult one, so I have no idea what's gonna happen in this one. Let's have a look. Never have I ever bit someone in public. I'm sure I answered that one last time. Maybe I didn't. Never have I ever bit someone in public. Bit someone? No, in general, and definitely not in public. Why would you bite someone? Never have I ever been to a Katy Perry concert. No, I haven't. Although I did used to have a weird crush on her. Never have I ever smoked pot. Yes, I have. I'm not really a drug person. Like, I've never felt the need to do drugs, like, ever. Growing up, I had some decent friends, and it wasn't really anything, like, it just never came up. I know that a lot of people have that issue, like, apparently, where, like, they have, like, what's it called? Peer pressure. But never really came up, so I've never really bothered. Plus, like, a lot of stuff like that is just, it's messed up. Like, I've seen a lot of, like, my hair is so crap, look. Cool. Looking great for videos. Yeah, I've heard of a lot of, like, people that have done just really, like, stupid stuff. Like, there was one person that I will always remember. She was in the same hospital as my gran when I was really little, and she'd done something, I think it was like ecstasy or something, and it was like her first time doing it apparently, and she was only like 19, and she literally lost the plot. Like, it just, she had a real bad effect on, like, her brain. Like, it just malfunctioned completely, and yeah, she literally was not in a good way for a long time. Like, she was mental to the point where she was like, she was going to the toilet and throwing it at people, we'll just say that. So yeah, that kind of always put me off. Plus, like, I just don't see a point in it. Like, when you go out with people, why do you need to do drugs to have fun? You know? Like, and the only reason I got into, like, smoking, and I barely even smoke, to be fair, like, if I can't sleep for a long while, like, I'll probably get a little bit if I can. If I can't, no big deal, and I'll, like, smoke it. But, like, before that, I never touched it. And then my ex, Chris, he used to smoke it religiously, like, non-stop. And I just remember I was so stressed out, and he was like, just try a bit, just try a bit. Like, I wouldn't give you anything that would, like, mess you up. Like, no one's ever died from it. Like, it's just a natural thing, which is probably the only reason why I tried it, to be fair. And yeah, and then he was like, do you still care about the thing that you were just talking about? Like, talk about it. How do you feel? And I was like, wow, I literally don't give a crap about it. That's so good. And then, yeah, I did, like, dabble in it every so often, but, like, I'm definitely not an avid smoker. And I don't know, it's not something that really appeals to me. Do you know what I mean? That was a really long, convoluted answer there. That no one spell checks these, do they? That doesn't. I can't even figure out what that was supposed to say. Never have I ever dated someone my parents didn't approve of. Oh, I'm sure I did. Parents, my mum. I mean, my mum's pretty laid back. I'm trying to think of, like, if she's ever said that she didn't like someone that I've dated. Because I haven't had that many boyfriends. Because they've always been long term. So they just kind of... with, like, not very many. I mean, Chris, I was with him for, like, 5 years. I feel like she didn't really get on too well with him because he was kind of quiet. But, like, that's probably it. I don't think I've ever been with someone that she's not approved of. Like, that's just weird. I've definitely dated people that have upset her because of stuff that they've said or done. But she's a very forgiving person, do you know what I mean? And usually she trusts that I make, like, relatively good judgments. Usually. Never have I ever got a flat tyre. Well, that's really relevant. I literally had one 2 days ago. So, yeah. Obviously. Never have I ever thought my own thoughts were weird, I think, is what... I have a feeling this has been translated and not very well. I don't even know how to answer that one. Advert. This is great. I'm so glad I didn't pay money for this. Never have I ever been caught speeding. No. Because I don't speed. Never. No, go away. I don't care. I don't care. Go away. Never have I ever puked in a pool. Ew, no. 100% no. Like, I never puke, so I've probably puked like twice in my entire life. Never have I ever denied that I liked someone right to their face. No, I don't think so. No. I'm usually pretty upfront with how I feel and I say how I feel. So if I don't like someone and I say I don't like them, it's because I don't like them. So no. Never have I ever gotten a pedicure. What's a pedicure? Is that your feet? No. I usually just paint my own toenails. I had a manicure, which is... Am I saying that the right way around? Oh no! Oh, I skipped one. Never have I ever had sex in a camper van. No. I don't think I've ever been in a camper van. Never have I ever been in a car accident. Yes, a couple, but none of them are my fault. Which sounds stupid, but it's actually true. I say many times. It's probably been like 3 times. But I feel like that's a lot for someone to go through. Yeah, they've all resulted in the person writing my car off and having to buy me another car. Which is annoying for me because I get really attached to cars. So, yeah. Never have I ever been in jail. No. I just said yes to that one by accident. Never have I ever wanted to live underwater. Yeah, when I was a kid, I was like obsessed with The Little Mermaid, so probably. Even though I can't swim. Never have I ever wondered what... Never have I ever wondered why I can't see myself, only my body parts. What? What? Is this... Never heard of mirrors? I mean... No? No? Never have I ever used someone knowingly. Oh god, no. That is disgusting. I hate people that do that. I absolutely hate it. So, absolutely not. Never have I ever gotten stabbed by a needle while sewing. Yeah. Who hasn't? These aren't very good, are they? They're not very good. Yeah, I'm getting another advert. That's good. That's great. Is it that if you pay for these, you get like really good ones, and if you don't, you just get crap ones? Never have I ever starved for over 3 months. Don't you die if you starve for 3 months? Because starve means not eat anything, right? Right? No. Never have I ever exploded a soda. Oh god, yeah, loads of times. There was one time, it was so funny. I just bought a... Is it a litre? I suppose it is a litre. Bottle of lemonade. Put it in the back of the car. And I put it in the footwell. Because I thought if it rolled off the seat, like, it would just shake it up and be really bad. So I thought if I put it in the footwell, like, nothing will happen. My mum was in the passenger seat. And we drove off, and it rolled. And it must have hit, like, the metal slider underneath the seat, you know, to slide your seat back. And it just caught it wrong. And it pierced it. And all you could hear was it just going ballistic in the back seat. And I was like, oh no! And my mum was going mental about it. She was like, wow, what do we do? I was like, just leave it, just leave it. And then she grabbed it and tried to, like, put a hand over it, over, like, wherever it was pierced, and she couldn't figure it out, and it was just going everywhere. And I was just laughing, and I was like, Mum, just put it down, just put it down. It literally leaked everywhere. I didn't end up with my soda. Never have I ever had my cell phone ring at an embarrassing moment. Yeah. Yeah. And he did too, actually. Don't go into that one. Never have I ever fallen down... This is worded badly as well. Never have I ever fallen down the stairs face first. No, not face first. I've fallen arse first, for sure. I'm a very clumsy person. Oh, here we go. Never have I ever masturbated more than twice in one day. Probably. Never have I ever had sex on a ski slope. Wouldn't that be very public? Wouldn't you get done for, like, indecent exposure? Is that just my imagination? How would that work? No. In fact, I've never even been on a ski slope. No. Never have I ever given the middle finger to a teacher. No. Why would you do that? Like, they're just trying to do their job. Never have I ever had a boyfriend or girlfriend for longer than a year. All of them have been for longer than a year. Like I said, I've had nothing but long-term relationships. Never have I ever slept with my partner's sibling. No. I've fancied a partner's sibling. That sounds really bad. Basically, this was a long time ago. Although, no, technically, no. No, I mean, a long time ago, I met this guy and I thought he was really cute. And I just had, like, a weird crush on him. And then a few years later, when I was... He worked at this club that I used to go to, which is weird because that's where I met Chris, but not the same guy. It's not Chris. And yeah, I just thought he was really cute. And then I met his brother, who was younger. And I didn't realise that they were siblings. Because they didn't really look alike. Actually, yeah, I guess they did, kind of, a little bit. And yeah, that was awkward because the first time that I stayed at his house, his brother was there. And I walked out and I was like, what? He was like, oh, this is my brother. And I was like, oh. And I cannot remember his name to this day, which is really bad. Obviously, I remember my boyfriend at the time's name, but I don't remember his brother's name. But yeah, that was really awkward. And I've also, more recently, I didn't fancy him because I didn't even know who the hell he was. But like, it was weird. But I kissed this guy, and then later on, it turned out that he was the twin of the person that I was seeing. But I didn't remember anything about it. It was like later on that someone said like, "Oh, you do realise that his twin is that guy," and I was like, "Oh." And I did not remember because these two to me they just are so separate. It's unreal. Like I don't view them as similar in any way, but they are identical twins. That's weird because that's two people that I've been in a relationship with that have been identical twins. That's really weird. They've dated two separate identical twins, but they weren't siblings. So no, that was a really long answer again. Never have ever kissed someone as a favour. What? No. I've pretended to be someone's girlfriend as a favour, but I didn't kiss them or anything. It was someone that I used to work with ages ago. At one of my favourite jobs I've ever had. I was so sad when that closed down. But yeah, he was like an emo boy, and he was more like my annoying little brother to me. But like a lot of little girls used to fancy him, and they used to come in the shop that we worked in, and they used to follow him around literally. And he was like, "Can you just pretend to be my girlfriend, please? Please, can you help me?" And I'd be like, "Oh, you're following my boyfriend around? Can you not?" But that's about it. Didn't have to kiss him or anything. Never have I ever been to New York City. No, I really want to go to America, but I haven't been. I was gonna go, but I don't know. I want to one day. Never have I ever accidentally sent an embarrassing text message to the wrong person. An embarrassing text message? I've sent texts to the wrong person before. I don't know many people that haven't. But like, I don't think it was embarrassing. Was it? The only thing that's even remotely similar is that when I was younger, one of my boyfriends, if you can call him that, because you know you're a kid, like I think I was like 13, 14, something like that, and I was going out with this guy, like held hands and kissed, and you know, no. And towards the end, like he got really possessive and he kept ringing me, like, you know, we'd go to town like you do to hang out, and I'd be with my friend and we were like, oh, let's go shopping, and obviously it's going shopping, so I don't want to go, was the response. So I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll meet back with you in a bit. And he relentlessly was like, wouldn't leave me alone and wanted to know where I was and who I was with, and I was like, you just saw who I was with. And it was really bizarre because I was only like 14. Like, come on. It's not like we're, you know, older or whatever. So it's like, what? And he was being so rude, and I went to hang up on him, and I hadn't hung up on him. And I turned around to my friend, and I was like, oh, he's being a fucking prick. And I just heard him go, what? I'm being a what? And I was like, oops, I didn't hang up. So he heard what I said. But he was being a fucking prick. So that's about as close as I've gotten. I've probably sent some like embarrassing text messages while drunk, but not to the wrong person that I can think of off the top of my head. Never have I ever made my own bow and arrow. No. I'm weirdly good with the bow and arrow though. I'm really good at archery, which is really random. I had no idea until we went on a holiday to Centre Parks, which is like this activity place, and one of the things was archery, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, it'd be like Tomb Raider, like Lara Croft. And I was actually really good at it, which was really surprising to everyone. So I would love one, but I haven't made one. That doesn't make any sense. Stole a drink from a store? No. I've never stolen anything from a store. Someone that I've been with, like hanging out with, and a partner of mine as well at one point stole something, and I hated it. It makes me feel really weird. Advert. There we go. Right, never have I ever laughed out loud during sex. That was a weird noise. That was my TV. Yes, I have. Um, there was one time was with a recent ex. He, stuff was going on, and then he couldn't get his shoe off. And I was cry laughing because I had to, he'd fully knotted his boot. I don't think he ever wore those again when it came over to mine. But yeah, he fully knotted it and couldn't undo it. So we just had to completely stop, and I was just literally helping him undo his boot for 10 minutes. It was hilarious. And another time as well, when I was with my ex Chris, he was very drunk and he accidentally rolled us off of the bed. And he tried to protect me from hitting the side, and because he had a wardrobe next to his bed, and we literally slammed so hard into it, and I was cry laughing, and even his housemate was like, do I even want to know what just happened? And we were like, we're fine. He was so drunk, but I could not stop laughing. It was so funny, especially because he just squealed, because he was like, oh shit. So that would be a yes. Another advert, seriously, why? I think I'm only going to do 2 more of these because this is doing my head in. Never have I ever run away from home. No. I've left and people have not known where the hell I am when I was really ill, actually, and I was really depressed. I think I was in a, what do they call it? I think I'd had this was years ago. I'd had I'm pretty much sitting on the floor and not the beanbag at this point. I'd had I think they called it a breakdown of some sort, and I was just really in a dark place, and I left home, and I'd somehow driven somewhere, and I didn't know how I got there. It was kind of dangerous, but that's probably about the most where people didn't know where I was for a long period of time. Never have I ever climbed a tree. Of course I have. Who the hell hasn't done that? Never have I ever skinny dipped. No. Not skinny dipped, no. Never have I ever found myself attractive. If you find yourself attractive, isn't that... I don't know, in my head that comes across as you fancy yourself. Who does that? No. I guess it means, do you think that you are do you think you are attractive? Not that you found yourself attractive. That's a little bit different. Either way, no. Lied to my parents about where I'm going. No, I've never had to do that. Because my mum is really cool and really laid back, and she always knew where I was going, and she was always okay with it. So some of these are really boring. Some of them I've already done. I'll try and find a decent one to end on. Advert. Skip. Ew. I'm not even going to read what that one said. That was gross. Not in a fun way. Ew. Never have I ever broken up with someone I was angry. That doesn't make any sense either. This app is crap. That rhymes. Never have I ever broken up with someone when I was angry and then regretted it. That makes more sense. I think that's what it's supposed to say. Yeah. Many times. With a certain person. Because they used to annoy me so much. Yeah, definitely. If someone upsets me to that point... Sorry if that's really rustly. I hope it hasn't been really rustly this whole time because this is quite a high neck, so sorry. I'm not used to wearing my mic. Yeah, like if he did stupid stuff and pissed me off, then yeah, I would, I've broken up with that person. Regretted it afterwards, I guess so, because we always got back together eventually, except for the last time. Yeah, if someone pushes you to that point, I mean, it's not like a go-to thing. Like, don't be that person where you just like every time they do something that upsets you, just be like, you're dumped, because that's so pathetic. But like, if they do something and it's to that point where they know that what they're doing is wrong, and you're like, I've had enough, and you feel like you need to put that point across for like the final time, then yeah, obviously you're gonna say like, this is it, we're broken up, I can't be doing with this anymore. I think most people get to that point, right? And then that person hopefully learns their lesson and sorts it out. But it's always been after like I've explained like what is going on, like what is wrong, because I'm just like that. I've always been like that, and I'm not going to ever change that. That is how I am. Like, if someone does something wrong and it upsets me, I will tell you, and I will probably, I'm that kind of person, I'll probably even tell you how to fix it. What is wrong with that? I expect the same. If I do something that annoys you, I don't expect you to just skip over it, because that never works out. I had an ex that used to do that. He just used to ignore it, and then he'd blow up over something really small and be like, yeah, but then you did this time and you did that last time. And it's like, well, if that annoys you, why didn't you tell me? Because I would have not done it anymore. It doesn't make any sense to me why you wouldn't do this. So yeah, that's just how I am, and I'll never change that. I do not understand women that have an issue and they're like, go silent and won't tell them, or they'll just let it brew for like ages. It's like, just tell them, give them a chance to fix it. If they don't, then they're kind of a jerk. You figure out if you can move past it or if you need to break up with them. It's not that difficult. So yeah, anyway, that was another long answer. But yeah, I kind of knew that some of those questions would like require longer answers. So smart move. Anyway, yeah, that's all I'm gonna answer for this one. I might do another one. People seem to like these for some reason. So again, if you've got any that you want to ask me, you can do it in the comments or on other social media, which is also below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And all the other stuff, subscribe so you know when I do this, because I don't always tell you. I don't like doing that, it's annoying. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.